The documents index is loaded full of files, and there's 32 line items that you can click on, and or at least you can click on them on the website. The documents list in the App Store at TradeStation. It's not a clickable file page, but there's 5 supporting documents, and inside of those 5 supporting documents, there's an index, and all of these items that are listed here are also in the supporting documents. So whether you're in TradeStation looking around or on the website looking around, you can do either one anytime you want. Or excuse me, let me rephrase that. You can do the Trading App Store looking around while you're in the free trial, or of course if you're in the system. On the website you can do it anytime you want. While I'm thinking of that idea, let me encourage you to spend time looking at the system. You could spend 2 months investigating, looking at videos, reading literature that are files that are posted, and really become familiar with the system. You don't have to take off and trade something in one day, and I really encourage you not to do that. I want you to learn the system so you're happy with the system and comfortable with the system, because it really works. It's just that you have to be cognizant of the fact that these are very sensitive indicators, and they'll tell you a whole lot. But you can't just look at 1 or 2 indicators, because there are other factors inside of the situation that you're at that can control the direction or expectation of the next day activity, and that especially has to do with short-term trend lines. Those are the 3 groups of like the trend trio, and power green and orange, and swing red and green. So always check those out before you make a decision. Anyway, back to this list here. You look down here on, I'll highlight red spikes. Oops, I need to turn this. I need to move this. I will on here. I highlighted red spikes just as an example on the patterns for you to look at. There's several different ones, and the pattern choices are quite varied and quite effective. There's different styles, or how do I say this? There's obviously different types, but like when I think of, there's a whole bunch of patterns here that define an up pattern or a price up next day. The crossover, for example, crossover patterns, it has to be a cross over 0 or over the short-term trend group, like the trend trio lines or the power green and orange lines. On the patterns down file, you're cross under the pattern. So you're crossing under 0 or under the short-term trend lines. But on position patterns, for example, down here, power red is by far the best position indicator. When power red is running under 0, the price tends to go down. When power red is above 0, price tends to go up. Just use this file. It's great. It's one of the key ones. One of the other ones is rules. It's called rules, indicator rules. It basically establishes the rule for like a zip red, or excuse me, like a zip peak. A zip peak is zip red above 50 and zip yellow under 50. That's the basic definition of it. And they're both going down. A red, I said that wrong, both going up. A red spike is zip red under 50 and zip yellow above 50. And they're both going down. But inside of that equation is the fact that they definitely have conditions. If they're both reversal patterns, so the red spike, for example, that goes down, but it's going to reverse back up. So if your 7 short-term trend lines are all going up when you find a red spike, you're going to get a nice green candle. And that the opposite can be true. You're going to get a very low or maybe even a red candle on a red, not often, but on a red spike that has the trend lines going down. You're going to get a green day 9 chances out of 10, but it's going to be real small. So you're going to have to pick the top and buy at the bottom. But if you watch what the short-term trend lines are doing, you're going to find that there's a lot bigger spread to the candle, and hopefully your margins are a lot better. Moving on to the power, you saw it there, to the power red category here. Excuse me, to the patterns down category here. Similar categories throughout. Here's the high M patterns in a price down situation. That's the reciprocal for the right leg W patterns. You have deep cycle patterns here as well. Those are power pink and swing gray. Swing gray is when swing gray is under 0, it is a deep low cycle. When swing gray is above 0, it's a deep high cycle. And you look at different charts, and you'll find some expanded out, and you'll see how far trend gray goes down, and you'll be able to identify those cycles in a low, and opposite for a high cycle. So there's just a lot of information in this file. There's a lot of information also in the divergence file, the DIVG file. That gives us there's a lot of examples in that file, and then of course a lot of examples in the gaps up and gaps down file. So take the time to investigate the stuff that's written. Some people deal better with what's written than they do with what's said, but hopefully I don't have too many errors in what I say, because it's easy to say the wrong words for the colors sometimes, and I'm sure you may have seen some of those. But that's what patterns up, or pattern types down and pattern types up is about. Just take the time to investigate.